Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the multilingual show because we speak American, English, and geekdom. It's Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Koblenz in studio alongside
Art Shirley.
And from his place of origin, no, it wouldn't be his place of origin. It'd be his place of residence.
From Pots Unknown.
From Pots
Unknown.
Yeah. What's your name? Who are you?
Jay Reed.
Jay Reed. Jay Reed. Half of the Reed brothers. So, how are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good. Two of us are sick. One of us is disinterested, and he's on his phone. But he's able to come with quips immediately. That's the genius of Art Shirley. It doesn't matter what the situation is.
And now suddenly have nothing.
You have nothing.
Yeah.
You have nothing. You have nothing. All right, let's jump into some Geeks of the Week. I'm going to go first this time because it's not about dead people, but there's a lot of dead people in the trailer. It's the new Nick Offerman. Who else is in it? Kirsten Dunst movie Civil War. The trailer dropped this week as we're recording, and it is a apocalyptic. The United States is broken into a civil war where the Western forces of California and Texas have formed their own alliance, seceded from the Union, and are now trying to take over the rest of America. So fascinating, disturbing, and but it looks pretty interesting. I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not, but it caught my eye. And these days, the trailer has to be pretty good, or the idea's got to be great to catch my eye. But that Civil War is going to be out in March. I think it's March of 24 in just a few weeks.
So it's just called Civil War?
It's called Civil War.
Okay.
So, have you seen?
I haven't seen it at all. Have you seen it, Jay?
No, I have not. No.
The trailer may have dropped, I think, 2 days ago as we're recording. So. But yeah, it's pretty fascinating. It also reminds me of a movie that's on Netflix right now that I would recommend called Leave the World Behind.
Oh, you're the first person I've heard recommend it because everybody else has said not to watch it.
Well, it was pretty fascinating to me. I skipped through it, shall I say. So I would do, it gets a little in some points, but just the whole premise of how a series of events could lead to a civil downfall was pretty fascinating.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a 2-hour movie. I would probably try to watch it in 45 minutes.
Okay.
So, are you familiar with that one, Jay? Leave the World Behind?
I'm not, no.
So, well.
I was going to recommend a little movie called Maverick that came out just recently.
Maverick 1 or Maverick? New, Maverick 2, right?
Maverick 2, yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's a
I haven't seen the trailer.
Call back to last week.
Yeah, which for us was just moments ago.
Feels like it.
Yeah, it does. It does. What's your geek?
My geek is Nicholas Hoult is now the new Lex Luthor.
I was going to say
James Gunn.
I thought you were going to say he's been cast as the new Maverick.
New Maverick. That's right. That's right. He has been cast as Lex Luthor in James Gunn's Superman Legacy movie that's coming up. There was some discussion. Why didn't he? You know, he and James Gunn and Michael Rosenbaum. Thank you. Rosenbaum are good friends. So a lot of people hoped he might cast him because he played Lex Luthor in Smallville and was great in that. But
probably the greatest Lex Luthor of all time.
Yeah, I would think that's probably true.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult came from has been in the X-Men universe. He played Beast in the
First Class.
First Class, that iteration of Marvel, of X-Men movies, that also had James McAvoy as Professor X. And a good actor. I mean, he was also J.R.R. Tolkien in the biopic about him, which I haven't seen. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't either.
But I've seen him in a bunch of other things. He's always good.
I think we talked about that. I never got around to seeing that either. What's the name of it? Do you remember?
No.
The Tolkien movie?
It's Maverick 3.
That's right.
Out of the Shire. Straight out of the Shire. So, no, I don't know.
Okay.
I would like to watch that.
I can look it up.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think he's going to be a really nice Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I think,
relatively speaking.
Hi, Superman. How are you?
Well, it's going to be interesting. So what version of Lex Luthor does he play?
Yeah, I mean, he is the science guy Lex Luthor? Is he the businessman Lex Luthor? Is he a former president Lex Luthor?
I mean, is he the guy who thinks he's the hero of the story and he's saving the world from Superman, which has kind of been the version that we've seen the last few years in the comic books. So.
Right. James Gunn also said he doesn't want to do any celebrity cameos. He thinks those are a waste of time, so he doesn't want to do any of those.
So I wonder if there'll be a Miss Chessmacher.
Ah.
Yeah. So there you go.
When he's talking about cameos, because he's got a lot of characters coming in this movie from what I've read. I mean, it's not just Superman and Lex Luthor. There's going to be another handful of superhero characters, but he's then also knocking cameos. So he's just talking about just a pop-in kind of a cameo.
So you wouldn't have a Tom
taking away from the genre.
You wouldn't have a Tom Welling who played Clark Kent on Smallville come in as some sort of auxiliary character, kind of like who's the original Wonder Woman?
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter played what on? She had a cameo in Supergirl. She was president in Supergirl. Right?
She was the president of Supergirl, but she actually had a role in Supergirl. But she kind of had more of a cameo in Wonder Woman '84.
Yeah,
because in the end credits she plays, and they referred to her some other Amazonian princess that had gone out into the world at one point.
Yeah.
And because that's the only time she shows up, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in Supergirl, it's a little bit more than a cameo because she actually is the president and is exposed as an alien at some point. So
do you agree with him? Do you think the cameos are take away from it?
I think they could be distracting.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think some of them can be distracting. Sometimes they're, but I like, for example, the Linda Carter one I thought was great. I thought that worked really well and actually played into the story. Sometimes I think those are fun to see. I can see not really trying your hardest to work that in, concentrate on the story first, but I don't have a problem with them in there. Enjoy them, in fact.
All right.
That was an interesting comment.
Yeah.
James J.
James T. Reed.
Wow.
Captain Reed.
Captain Reed, what's your Geek of the Week this week?
I'm going to say in the DC universe, I just saw this. I haven't even seen a trailer, but going to be watching during the holiday season, which I know this will probably come out after, but maybe it'll still be up, a little short animated film called Merry Little Batman on Prime, actually.
Yeah.
So that's coming out. That's got, Luke Wilson, I think.
Luke Wilson plays Bruce Wayne Batman, right?
Bruce Wayne, yeah. Okay. And then there's Damian Wayne, and I recognize the kid, Jonas, I'm going to butcher this name, Jonas Gabrib.
Yeah.
He looks familiar. I don't know what else he's been in. And then you got David Hornsby. I also recognize his face.
Is that Bruce's brother?
Yeah.
Could be. The Joker, James Cromwell, Alfred Pennyworth. Of course, we know him. I'm looking at the cast and there's faces that I recognize. Reed Scott is Commissioner Gordon. I recognize him from somewhere. So I recognize all these faces. I couldn't tell you what all they're in, but it looks like it'd be fun.
Yeah, I did watch the trailer for it, and it really looks really good. And I've seen that the reviews are good.
And it's going to be on Prime?
It's on Prime right now. It's playing right now.
Is this one of those series that HBO Max, Warner Brothers offloaded to?
I think so. It's a movie. It's not a series, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and it's an hour and 32 minutes. I think I just saw the 32 and didn't see the hour part. So it's a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I figured. I may sit down and watch it this weekend.
The description says little Damian Wayne confronts enemies in his city after finding himself alone at Wayne Manor. I wonder if it's going to be a Home Alone kind of a take.
Well, I think from what happens in the trailer, it looks like Batman is abducted by somebody and kind of disappears, which I think there's a comic story. Batman is gone and Damian and I think Dick Grayson have to become the new Batman and Robin. But in this case, he becomes Batman. There's a Batman costume that's there for him. So
okay,
interesting.
And Bruce Wayne has a beard for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Bruce Wayne and Batman both have beards, which you think would be kind of,
yeah,
that's odd.
Yeah,
it would be odd.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that would kind of throw off the secret identity.
Yeah, it's a real different animation kind of style. Very, more kid cartoonish than the typical DC animation things.
I may have to check.
I think that's the one I'll have to watch by myself. I don't know if Melissa will be interested in that one, but
I was going to see if Drew might watch it with me, but we'll see. Otherwise, I'm sure it'll be one.
I think being sick at home alone, this may be a good day for me to watch that one.
There you go.
There you go. Cool. All right, we all did Geeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, are we sure?
We did.
I think so. Yeah.
You started.
Don't
so
ask me. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
this is our tribute to Maverick episode, though, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Tribute to Maverick episode.
Just wake
that's
me up
correct.
at the break.
Yeah. All right, we're at the break. Wake up, Art.
Hey.
But we'll come back. We're going to talk our best streaming series of the year. We're all awake this time. We're all at a microphone. We're all going to talk. We're going to talk 2023 streamers. And I think everything I've got here, I haven't watched anything on terrestrial television in a couple of years.
Terrestrial television.
Anyway, but I think all these were built for the streaming universe. So I've got Actually, I've got 6 with 2 honorable mentions.
6 plus 2 honorable mentions?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and we're giving Jay a little bit of cover here. But so one of my honorable mentions, and I've just started watching it, and I'm fascinated by it. I think, Art, you have watched the first episode. It's Monarch, Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah. We're 3 in now and loving it. In fact, it gets better as it goes.
I think I'm at the end of 3. In fact, I paused to watch the 2014 Godzilla.
Yeah, the 2014 one. Oh, the same universe.
Yeah, it's the same universe, which this one dovetails incredibly well with.
Yeah, yeah. So have you seen any of those other ones before?
I've seen the Bryan Cranston 2014 Godzilla.
Okay, so you had seen that before.
Yeah, but I've not seen Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, I've watched all those, and this really is good. But there's also there's a 2016 movie called Shin Godzilla, which is done by the original house. We just watched that over the weekend, and that's what kind of got us fired up to go back to Monarch.
Yeah,
even though it's a completely different universe.
Yeah,
but yeah, really enjoying the Monarch thing a lot.
Monarch has been great, and there's a Godzilla -1.
Yeah, that's from the same studio that did Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
And Will has seen that. My older son Will has seen that, and I'm thinking Drew and I probably need to go maybe this weekend and see that because it's supposed to be doing really well.
It's supposed to be really.
It's interesting because it is CGI, but they've given, according to Will, they've given the Godzilla monster a little bit of a man in a rubber suit feeling. So I thought that was kind of
probably on purpose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But Monarch: Legacy of Monsters on Apple TV Plus, highly recommended. And if I'd been further into it, it may have been in my top 3.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it that much. So I've got another honorable mention here, and that's Loki 2. I don't know if that's on anybody's
Not
list.
on my list, but I would go with an honorable mention for it.
What about you, Jay? Is it on your list?
It is not on my list.
You know, I enjoyed it. I loved where the conclusion they took it to, and apparently where Loki ends up at the end of Loki 2 at the tree is going to be part of a What If episode, which is going to be dropping as we record this.
Really?
So,
All right. Okay, I knew it was coming up soon. I didn't know it was that
So I think they're doing 10 of them 10 days out before Christmas.
There are a lot.
Yeah, actually, I watched it. The trailer I saw today starts on the 22nd, which will be after this airs. But it's for 9 straight days.
I don't have Disney Plus anymore.
You don't have Disney Plus anymore?
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
But a lot of stuff drops in the past, around these next 3 days or whatever.
Yeah.
Last days. Reacher's dropped. Crown Part 2 is dropped or is dropping.
Yeah. I watched Crown Part 1.
Yeah. Kind of took a while to get there.
It really did.
Yeah.
So, but
and to a conclusion, sad conclusion, but something we all knew was coming.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So, my number 6 is Lessons in Chemistry.
I haven't watched that yet.
Again, an Apple TV Plus, Brie Larson, and it may be my second favorite thing because Brie Larson was in Scott Pilgrim. But my second favorite thing that Brie Larson has ever done. Okay. I cannot recommend it enough. It has no sci-fi geek component to it whatsoever. It's a great story.
Yeah.
So,
and we've got Apple TV Plus again now, so to watch Monarch and All Mankind. But
I think Becky would enjoy it. I'm trying to get Bonnie to watch it.
We'll have to. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So that gets us to number 5. Jay, have you had enough time to figure out your number 5?
I have. Yes.
And what is your number?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
My number 5 is going to be Sweet Tooth Season 2. Actually.
Sweet Tooth.
That was a surprise. Y'all have not watched it at all, have you?
We have not.
Ooh, I just realized I have 7. Okay. So, no. I've not watched
short episode.
I have not. I've not watched Sweet Tooth either. But you really enjoyed the first series.
I really enjoyed the first one, and I really enjoyed the second one. I just think it's so unique, and for what it is, it's well done. I didn't know the comic until I saw the show, and then I went and got the graphic novel. So I've read the comic now, and it definitely varies from the comic a good bit, but the general gist of it is the same. And I thought it was just a fun, but still dramatic, and I guess as kind of like The Last of Us, anything you do, anything that kind of sounds like a pandemic and how it affects the world, makes you really think. So
yeah.
So that's why I had it number 5.
Cool. What's your number 5?
Jury Duty. Did anybody watch Jury Duty?
No.
Jury Duty was kind of a punked or candid camera show. They played this trick on this one guy who was chosen for jury duty. Everybody else in the whole situation are actors.
I read about this. Yeah.
Yeah. James Marsden was in it and playing himself.
Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops. So there's our connection.
Who dies.
There. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Over and over again. Yeah. But it was just hilarious. And the thing is, you're thinking this is going to end so badly because this poor guy is going to realize they've tricked him. But he gets a lot of money at the end of it, and they all became friends. I mean, it was weird because all these actors, they kind of felt like, oh, what are we doing to this guy? And then they've remained, and he and James Marsden are still friends and hang out together. So it was really a good show. And I can't remember, I want to say it was on Prime.
It was on Prime.
It was a freebie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just kind of happened upon it, and I know several other people, that I talked to have watched it, and it was just a very different show, but very, odd show. But again, well worth watching.
I'll have to go pick that up. So, Jay, what's your number 5?
I think we already talked about number 5. I think it's your turn.
Did you talk about number 5?
Sweet Tooth.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Well, all right. So I've got a number 6 and a number 5. So, Ahsoka's probably tied at my number 5 spot.
Okay.
Enjoyed it quite a bit. Lots of fan service, but I watched Rebels. And, so I think I had a little bit more buy-in than you two did.
Yeah.
Because I knew a little bit of the backstory and to see some of those characters in real live action. Did Ahsoka make either of your list?
It did not. It made my didn't live up to the hype list.
Gotcha. Which is where this show usually ends
That's
up
right.
anyway. So.
That and we're not. I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but Ahsoka and Secret Invasion both kind of.
Yeah.
The Secret Invasion was like by far and away. Yeah.
Putrid.
Yeah, far and away the show that did not live up to the hype, but Ahsoka was that kind of there for me too.
Well, I'll go into my number 5. That's Silo, Apple TV Plus.
Silo is your okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be curious what your number 1 is and see if you've forgotten something else this year.
I probably have.
Yeah. So Silo's my number 5. Jay, what's your number 4?
Number 4.
Number 4.
What's that?
Severance.
But that was last year.
Well, he watched it this year.
I guess you watched it.
I watched it this year.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I was wondering the same. I couldn't remember the same either.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, I kept a list of everything I watched this year.
Of course, smart.
Kind of what I went.
Yeah,
of course you did.
Because I'm sure, as Robbie will point out, surely I've forgotten something. Oh my gosh, that was my favorite show.
I have a backup. If you'd rather have something that came out this year.
Oh, we don't
or I
care.
can call it an honorable mention. Both Jack Ryan's season 3 and 4 I watched this year, and I know that Robbie, you have opinions about the name and the character.
It's his brother Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan.
Yeah.
So the Jim Ryan season 4, I've liked them all. So I had that as an honorable mention, but since Severance didn't qualify, I'll put that in as my number 4.
What's your number 4, Art?
Number 4 is Fall of the House of Usher.
I wonder if that was going to make your top 5.
Fall of that. Like I said, disturbing thing, often very hard to watch, but really well done.
But he made himself do it anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew made us do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. My number... What have I done? My number 4? Yeah, it'd be my number 4. I understand where.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Last of Us is my number 4.
Last of Us is your number 4.
Is my number 4. That's right. Really, really enjoyed it. One of the arguably, it is the best video game adaptation to live action of all time. Incredible acting, great writing. One of those shows you look for. I would watch on premiere night. Mm-hmm. So, and that's when I knew I really enjoyed it. Is if I'm waiting for the premiere, I'm going to watch the premiere. And it was funny. Everybody in my family except my wife watched Last of Us.
Yeah.
So, All right, let's go to Jay's number 3.
Jay,
Number
you're
three.
number 3.
The final season of Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. Ted Lasso didn't make my list this year, but it was great.
Yeah, well, I know
thought it
there was
great.
different opinions about it. You know, it maybe didn't live up to the first season, but I thought they ended it well.
I thought they did too, and it probably should have been on my list, and I did remember it.
Yeah.
But I just thought, well, kind of gut reaction thing. I went, this is not going to make my list. But yeah, so have you watched? I'm just curious, Jay, because I think you would watch it probably before Robbie would. The Hannah Waddingham Christmas special on Apple TV Plus.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm interested in watching.
Are you really?
I
Okay,
really
good deal.
am.
Well, and there's a lot of appearances from the Ted Lasso crew, and so I want to see that. In fact, GEMMYS
I may have seen
comes
a
on
clip
and
from that.
comes on and sings. Apparently,
Yeah, I'd like to see that. So,
Uh-huh.
what's your number 3, Art?
My number 3 is Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
Yeah. And I tell you, my number 3, 3, 2, 1, I probably could have switched them up.
Yeah.
Any order, but so they're all very close. But I think because it was the second season, I went with I took it down one notch. Although I thought it was incredible and well done.
It's actually, spoiler alert, it's my number 1.
Yeah, I wondered. Yeah, like I said, this could have been my number. And probably when I was first thinking about the list, I said that was going to be my number 1.
Yeah.
And I bumped it down.
What's your number 3, Jay?
His is Ted Lasso.
Oh, his is Ted Lasso. Man, I don't know
your
whether
turn again, Robbie.
It's my turn again. For All Mankind is my number 3.
Okay.
Even though it's not concluded, again, Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
Apple TV Plus has done a great job of streaming shows, because just think of what we've talked about. Majority of it's been on Apple TV Plus. For All Mankind is about halfway through its run, but there's not a better show streaming.
Yeah, we need to get on that one. Watching that one.
It's
And that was this year too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched all of that, and I didn't have it written down.
yeah. Well, no,
it's the fourth season.
yeah, it's the 4th season.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which just started in November.
Yeah, so it's about ready to conclude. So,
I would
it's-
probably have it on my list for next year because I won't watch it until then. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
Yeah, me
probably,
too.
won't finish it
I
until
got you.
then.
Okay.
Jay, what's your number 2?
Number 2. Well, here again, I was scrambling because again, this is.
We
not
just want
from this
results,
year.
not excuses. Okay, just results.
The Offer.
Oh man, I forgot. I didn't even put it down.
Well, we didn't. We watched it last year.
Y'all probably watched it last year. I just looked at it.
No, I just watched it
Oh, did you?
I just watched it in
Okay,
23.
I watched it. I think it was one of my favorites from last year.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
And maybe in the first. If it was the first of this year, yeah, it's going to have to be bumped up to the top. But I'm going to call it a last year.
there you go.
Okay, well,
And speaking
we
of
can agree.
who is it? Miles Teller, who
Yeah.
plays the lead. I tried to watch the Fantastic Four while I was sick.
It's amazing because I didn't think I really liked him as an actor until I watched The Office.
Yeah.
This guy's great.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Whiplash, which I understand he's incredible in that, but it's too depressing. That's too depressing.
But
for me
the
to watch.
kid who played Dr. Doom in that Fantastic Four movie, the guy who played Dr. Doom in that movie, is actually in For All Mankind season 4.
Oh, really?
Plays a great character.
Oh, he's not in it until season 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Plays a great character.
Okay.
So,
So, Jay, Offer, you liked it. We kind of
Yeah.
talked over you. We kind of stopped you.
No, we've already talked about you and I talked about at length on another episode.
Okay,
So I won't go into it that much, but it was definitely some of the best TV I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
yeah. Great. What's your number 2?
Number 2 is Last of Us.
Okay.
And again, I could have swapped these around anyway. And one of the things I really, you mentioned your whole family, but Bonnie watching Last of Us. Becky and I both watched it, so it's fun when there's a show we both watch and both enjoy, as opposed to sometimes having it on and one or the other of us is on the phone or on the iPad or whatever, not really paying attention to it. So this is one we were very much into, and I've tried to get them into Star Trek because I think they would. Becky and Drew would both really enjoy it.
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds,
is
yeah.
so good. So good.
Yeah, but anyway, Last of Us was good. Really, just enjoyed the whole thing. It reminded us of when we were first watching Walking Dead.
Yeah, very, very, very similar. My number 2 is the 3 Doctor Who specials
Oh, okay.
that just finished up, and it's amazing to see what money from Disney can do to a production.
Oh, I need to
budget.
check it out then.
It's on Disney Plus, which you don't have.
Oh, that's right. I can't check it
yeah,
out.
you can't.
I
Check
watched the first one last night. It was great.
You liked it?
I really like. I can't wait to watch the next two. I think it's just a combination, and of course, I don't have all the Who history that you do, but David Tennant and is it Catherine Tate?
Catherine Tate, yeah.
She is great. And I think I knew her from. She had a brief stint on The Ark.
Yes,
we talked about that and the fact that she was a Doctor Who character, and I just think she's awesome. And so the two of them together, and of course, towards the end of that first one, you realize chaos is about to ensue to precipitate the other two specials, but I'm very much looking forward to finishing those.
So all three are on Disney Plus.
That's
now.
right. That's right. And so Tennant ends up regenerating into Gatwa at the end of the third special. I mean, we've already talked about that. And he looks like he's going to be a phenomenal Doctor. So
cool. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. It. The second episode, Wild Blue Yonder, Jay. It's great. It's different than any other Doctor Who I've ever seen, but it's just those two, and it's pretty phenomenal. So, I think you'll enjoy it. It's got almost an alien feel to it. So, excellent. That was my number 2. Let's get to everybody's number 1. We've already talked about my number 1, Strange New Worlds, best TV I saw this year. Jay, what's your number 1 for the season?
The same, Strange New Worlds.
Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent. And yeah. So the two guys who are not the Trekkie, or not as big of the Trekkies, the third Trekkie, picked the Trek.
Yeah. That's interesting. It is interesting. Yeah. And like I said, my numbers 1, 2, and 3 easily could have changed over, and probably my initial reaction was that. But when I thought about it, I just went with Silo for my number 1.
I was going to ask if Silo was 1 for you.
We just really enjoyed it. I mean, it was it was different. It was well done. Liked everybody involved in it. Yeah, I thought it was really well done. And again, it was another movie that Becky and I were both watching and enjoying. And when it ended, we just were not ready to end. To the point where Becky actually got all the books from Amazon, and she's read one. I'm going to start reading that one here soon. But
Wool is great. Yeah, they're all great.
Yeah, so we just we can't wait for the next season to start. Yeah, so I know it's going to be a while, but that's kind of how we left that one. So we really liked it a lot.
Very faithful to the books. Great series. Again, Apple TV Plus. I mean, so I'm looking at my list here. For All Mankind, Silo, Lessons in Chemistry, Monarch, 4 or Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, that's something else. One that I didn't mention that I did like was and continue to like is Only Murders in the Building. Did you ever watch that?
We've watched a few episodes.
Have you watched it,
We've kind of stalled out.
No, I still haven't gotten Hulu, so I haven't.
Yeah, that really, and to me the first season was fantastic. The second season was okay. It was still very good, but it didn't match it. But the third season they kind of found their stride again. But just a really, really, really fun show, but not quite enough to hit my top 5. But.
We're in the middle of watching season 2 of The Gilded Age.
Oh yeah, now we've been watching that. Yeah, we're and I tell you what, I really like season 2 better than season 1.
Yeah, I've enjoyed season 2 so far, and that's on HBO Max.
Yeah. Do you watch that, Jay?
Yeah. Yeah, we've only gotten like 1 episode into the second season.
Yeah.
It's just been kind of a crazy schedule. We definitely watch it.
We should do a Gilded Age recap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a very fascinating story. It's made by the same people, or the same Julian fellows who made Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
And occasionally feels like Downton Abbey, but it has its own distinct feel. I mean, it's not quite, to me, it's not the same as Downton Abbey, which is, I guess, maybe because Downton Abbey, they had the money already, and these folks are so obsessed with getting and hanging on to money.
And how they're perceived, their money.
That's right.
Yeah, they got their money. So.
Yeah. How long you've had your money makes a big difference. Yeah. So it's really, again, it's a well-done show, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I'd be up for a Gilded Age.
Yeah. I would like my own personal Gilded Age. That would be great. That would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's right.
Money for nothing and your podcaster for free.
And Carrie Coon, the wife, I can't remember.
Mrs. Russell.
Mrs. Russell, thank you.
Yeah.
She's in Avengers Endgame, and she voices one of the 3.
Oh, that's right.
Thanos's, I can't remember.
Henchmen.
Which I can't remember what her character name is.
I forgot that.
Yeah, but she voices that. And she's got a very distinctive voice.
Yeah, she's great. That whole group. Vanity Fair did an article on them. Took them to the Met because one of the central tenets is, I mean, one of the struggles is the upcomers are forming their own New York Metropolitan Opera House, which is the only opera house there is now.
Which is it, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's been fun kind of to watch.
And
so.
the way they intersperse actual history with this fictionalized family is cool.
As opposed to Strange New Worlds, For All Mankind, they take it on a completely different tack.
Yeah, that's right. All right, good deal.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you find something there you'd like to watch that's Jay, Robbie, and Art approved. If not, we'll do better next year. See you next time around.